Are you bored of playing stroke play golf every time you go out and play? In this video, we are going to be listing out 5 different golf formats to try that you may not have considered before. These are all things that are going to add a little bit of extra competition and a bit of extra interest to your next round of golf, whether you're playing on your own or with a group of other players. Right, let's head out onto the golf course here at Royal Ashdown and look at 5 different golf formats to try.
Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is perhaps when you've gone away with a group of mates, 8, 12 of you, you've gone to a nice golf hotel, you want to do something that's serious but not semi-serious, a team event. What do you recommend, Tappers?
Well, you could try playing a yellow ball tournament. Now the rules are actually really simple. So the idea is that you're playing in groups of 4 and 2 scores from the 4 count on every hole. But crucially, one of the 4 is playing with the yellow ball. Now the player using the yellow ball changes on every hole. So I'd use it on the first, you use it on the second, and so on. And it goes around through all 18 holes. But the yellow ball counts on every hole. So it's the yellow ball plus one of the other players. Those 2 scores added together, that's how you get your team score.
So there's obviously a little bit of pressure on the yellow ball player. The teammates might be saying, you know, maybe hit hybrid here rather than drive to keep it in play. We've got to get that yellow ball to the end of the hole.
Yes, because there's differing opinions on what you should do, how you should proceed if the yellow ball gets lost.
Yes.
Now, Jez and I have discussed it.
We have,
and
at length.
At length. Our preferred way of playing it is?
Well, we've just come up with the idea you have a sleeve of 3 yellow balls, so you've got 3 chances. Obviously, if you lose one, you don't score any points on that hole with the yellow ball, but you're not out of the game, potentially on the first hole. And you've still got something to play for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so effectively you've got 3 lives
3 chances
with the yellow ball, but you still have to play it safe. There's still a bit of pressure on the guy that's using the yellow ball. The other guys can go for it a bit more, be a bit more aggressive, but whoever's got the yellow ball, the onus is on them to keep it in play. As Jez said, it's a bit of fun. It will add a little bit of extra excitement and interest to a round of golf, but without making it too serious, so it's a good one to try. Okay, so the next one is one to try if you're playing in a 3-ball. Now guys, please do leave comments below. What do you do when you play in 3s to add a little bit of extra competition and excitement? We'd be interested to hear your thoughts. One game to try is, Jez?
Well, I was introduced to it as American 6s.
Yes.
Other people call it various different things. But it's basically there are 6 points up for grabs on each hole, 4 for whoever wins the hole, 2 for second, nothing for third.
Yes. What happens if there's a tie, Jez?
Yeah, well, there can be all sorts of, well, not all sorts. There are other options. You could go 3-3-0, 2-2-2, or 4-1-1. But I think that exhausts all possibilities.
Now, I'm sure many of you watching this will be thinking to yourself, well, how is it that much different to a normal round of golf? But Jez, we've played this quite a lot over the years, haven't we? And it's a really good format.
I like it a lot, and I think the difference is that a disaster isn't a disaster. You just make 0 points on that hole.
Yeah, you can have a 12 on one hole.
Yeah, rather than having a 9 or a 12. And equally, you think, well, if I win this hole, and I really want the other 2 players to tie, so I'm picking up 3 points rather than just 2. There's all that kind of psychology involved. You end up willing one of the players to hole a putt at some stage, so you get a bigger advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So there are plenty of different options out there if you're in a 3 to add that little bit of extra competition. American 6s is one of them. We would recommend you give it a go. Okay, so this one, again, is for bigger groups of players. Let's say you're in a group of 16 or 12 and you're looking for a fun format to make the game a little bit more enjoyable.
Yes.
You can try the string game.
You can, and some clubs do play this as full field comps, don't
Yes.
they? I've not played it myself, but it sounds quite interesting. You get a foot of string for each stroke of your handicap. So Tappers, you would get 5 feet of string. And then you can use that string to extricate yourself from problems you've created out on the golf course. So you've hit it in a bush, 2 feet gets you out to play a clear shot. You use 2 feet of string, cut it off, dispose of it. You have 3 feet left to then help yourself elsewhere as well.
Yes, and you can use it. Well, there's a bit of debate about this. Can you use it on the green? Can you not use it on the green? Leave comments below. If you've played this game before, what have you done? We like the idea of being able to use it on the green.
Certainly, yeah. If you've left every putt 6 inches short,
which I often do,
suddenly you could have holed all those just by using a little bit of string. It's obviously very tactical. Do you use string early on and then leave yourself basically just playing normal golf after that, or do you keep something in reserve? If you're off 15 and you happen to have 12 feet left on the last green, you hit it to 12 feet.
You can, that's
you
it,
hold
done.
your second shot basically.
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty of this game, in my mind, is that it works brilliantly well for all levels of golfer.
Yes.
So if you've got lots of mixed abilities, you've got some, people who are just starting out, some 36 handicappers or even more, down to really low handicappers. Everyone gets the piece of string that relates to their handicap. No strokes, and you just go out and play. It's really good fun.
So the string game, an interesting one to try. What do you think? If you played it, let us know your thoughts below. So this next one's for when you're on your own, you can't find anyone around that wants a knock, but you want to keep it a little bit competitive, add a little edge to it. Worst ball, what's that all about, Tappers?
Yeah, so the idea here is you hit 2 balls and you play the worst in every single scenario.
Right.
So for instance, we're on the 5th hole here at Ashdown.
Yep.
I've hit 2 drives, one of which has come to finish on the middle of the fairway.
You can knock it on from there.
And the other one, sadly, is finished over there in the left-hand, quite heavy left-hand rough.
You couldn't knock it on from there.
No, and the reason I quite like this game, Jez, is that it does build as much as it can an element of pressure when you're playing on your own. So if you are preparing yourself for a bit of competition golf, it's quite a fun way of doing that.
Yeah, because everything doesn't always go swimmingly, does it, on the golf course, and you can't always play from the perfect spot. So
exactly.
There's one to try when you're on your own and you just want to add a little something to it. Worst ball. This next one is a staple of many golf club calendars, the Texas Scramble. Clubs have 2 or 3 of those a year. People either love it or loathe it. I really love it, but some people aren't so keen.
I'm surprised that people loathe it because it's one of my favourite formats.
I know a lot of the guys at one of my clubs wouldn't play it because it's a bit novelty, but I actually quite like the strategy and the tactics. So what exactly happens?
Well, typically you'd have a group of 4 players, everyone tees off, and then you play the best shot, and then everyone hits from where that best shot has finished. And you go around the golf course like that. It's one of those scenarios where you're going to get a good score. It's about making as many birdies as you possibly can. Now there are sometimes a few restrictions, so it might well be that the tournament organisers are requiring each player to take 4 drives during a round of golf, which adds that little bit of extra interest and excitement. I guess you could say that possibly could penalise the higher handicappers slightly.
A little bit, it puts them under a little bit of pressure if they're having a day where they can't get it off the tee, and every tee shot that goes by that isn't used, they're suddenly thinking, well, now I've got to use 4 from 9 or whatever.
But that's part of the excitement of the whole experience.
It's part of the strategy and the tactics. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to just take it on the chin and use a drive that hasn't gone very far. Just because you need to get one of that player's drives on the scoreboard, as it were.
And you can cater for the handicaps. Usually what they do is you'd add up the total handicaps for the group. So let's say it was 70 and it would be 10%. That's the number of shots you get. So you get 7 shots, which again, doesn't sound like very many, but when you're taking the best from all 4 of you on every shot, it works really well. And the last thing I'll say is that the reason I love it so much is that you can be playing terribly, but suddenly you'll hole a 15-foot putt, and when everybody else has missed, and your whole day improves and you contributed to the score, and it really helps, I think.
Indeed, you can actually not be playing very good golf at all but end up on the winning team if the 3 of the guys are carrying you through it.
Yes.
So I really like it. What do you think? Texas Scramble, winner or not? We're big fans. Let us know what you think below, but we recommend next time Scramble comes up on your club notice board, get your name down.
So there you have it. That was our list of 5 different golf formats to try. If you've liked the video, please do hit the like button and also comment below. Are there any formats that you've tried that you've really enjoyed? Let us know. Share it around. I'm sure there'll be other people out there really interested to hear your thoughts. But that's it for now from Royal Ashdown. We'll see you next time.